Imagine the early game with all of its struggles. The enemies invade and you're probably going to lose the turtle. You could easily avoid those struggles with this video, because I've compiled 7 secret jungler tips to make your early game work flawlessly. Number 1, don't gank the gold lane in the beginning if you can gank the XP lane before turtle spawns at second minute. Some people suggest ganking gold lanes so your gold laner can farm easier, but this isn't always the case. The first turtle will always spawn near the XP lane, so if you can kill the XP laner, he won't have his ultimate 4 turtle, making it easier to secure the objective instead of ganking the gold laner that usually don't play a part in turtle fight. Another advantage of ganking the XP lane is that in solo queue, your gold laner isn't always reliable, so prioritizing turtle can be better than helping an unreliable teammate. Number 2, don't contest the turtle if enemies have stronger early. It's better to give the turtle where you can trade something else in an attempt to equalize, such as a gank on the opposite lane or stealing their buff. A gank can catch the enemy off guard because they anticipate you to contest the turtle. In some cases, opting for a gank can be better than securing the turtle if you can also push the turret. Number 3, leave your buffs if enemies have the chance of pushing your turrets. Pay close attention to the map and see if the enemies can push your turrets. It will be too late by the time they appear on the minimap, so predict and leave your buff or jungle creeps to defend your turrets. And usually occurs when your teammates lose a fight on their lane and nobody is there to defend, so you have to clear their waves. Number 4, don't always use retribution on the first buff. You may think to use retribution on the first buff, but that isn't always the case. Saving retribution on the first buff will help you secure the second buff in case of an invasion from the enemies. Usually the enemies will invade if they're Fanny, Franco, Hanzo, Hilda, Natalia, or Franco. Losing the second buff is way worse than being slightly slower on the first buff. If they don't have the heroes mentioned and their early level 1 isn't that strong, you can use retribution on the first buff to farm faster. But when clearing the first buff, keep in mind enemy mages with Flame Shot or Novaria too. Number 5, correctly taking advantage of the jungler scoreboard trick. Many of you already know this trick, but there is more to it than just checking and predicting. For those who don't know, if the enemy took purple buff, he'll get 23 gold from killing the small one before getting 107 gold from killing the big one. This means while you're taking your own buff, you can check the amount of gold the enemy jungler has, and if you see his gold increases by 23 gold, it means he's taking purple buff compared to taking the orange buff, which would directly give him around 120 gold. So now that you know how it works, here's how to make it more useful. When you figured out which buff the enemy started, you can predict his ganking by looking at the jungler path. So if he starts at orange buff, it means he'll farm towards purple buff to gank your bottom lane. Here is where you should warn your ally, or if possible, camp him when he shows up. There are only a few times when they go to gank the opposite lane, but that just means it'll take a while for them to get there, allowing you to farm more. Number 6, farm minions after 5 minutes. If your allies forgets or leaves their lane, clearing the minions will make you fed even faster than only clearing the jungle creeps. But this doesn't mean you should ignore jungle creeps, as you can still take buffs and farm off the jungle creeps nearby. Number 7, don't waste retribution when taking the turtle. It may seem risky, but if you can determine nobody is secretly hiding in the bushes to steal, or an enemy with a long-range skill such as Moskov's ultimate and Xavier's ultimate, use that spare retribution to invade the enemy jungle or gank a lane.